pace car brings the 43-car field out of turn number 4. Pace car will be ducking off the racetrack as it is right now. And now coming down the straightaway, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, David Green, Dale Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, Mike Skinner. The green flag waves. The 6th Brickyard 400 is underway. The second corner down the backstretch, Mark Martin from his outside front row starting position has grabbed the lead away from Jeff Gordon. Side-by-side battle as Michael Waltrip and Mike Skinner run side-by-side. Bobby Labonte right there also. Into turn number 3 they go.
Now Jeff Gordon passes Mark Martin in the short chute. He wants to lead that first lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
He got the lead in the short chute between turns 3 and 4, and Jeff Gordon will lead lap number 1 here in Indy. This is the 6th year in a row that the pole sitter has led the opening lap of the Brickyard. Look at this battle behind the front runners.
3 abreast down in turn 1. That was John Andretti, Tony Stewart. Tell me they don't want to win here in their hometowns.
Tony Stewart and Ken Schrader run side by side through the second corner. There's Ward Burton in the 22 car right there also. Off the second corner and down the backstretch. Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, Jerry Punch, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap with you here on ABC's Wide World of Sports for the Brickyard 400. Mark Martin has taken the lead from Jeff Gordon to become our second leader of the day. Here's how it happened.
Mark comes off the second corner, just gets terrific position and accelerates right by the 24 car. A great corner by Mark Martin.
Down to Jerry Punch.
Well, just a lap ago, Mark Martin radioed the crew and said, guys, we guessed correctly. They began the day with the car a little bit loose. Historically, here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this track tightens up throughout the afternoon. Mark said the car is coming toward us. The crew said, all right, go get him. And indeed, Mark just did.
Well, now Jeff Gordon is going after him, and Gordon retakes the lead on the front stretch.
Mark Martin missed turn 4 just a little bit. We saw the car. He did not get it down to that white line, and when he didn't, Jeff Gordon got that great run on him.
And it also has allowed Dale Jarrett to close in now for the battle of second position. Bobby Labonte is running in 4th place, and then there's quite a bit of racetrack back to the 5th place car of Mike Skinner.
Bobby Labonte, the green car, he's the guy that's made up the ground. He was several car lengths behind, and we see now he's only about 8 or 10.
Many people think that the Pontiacs may have an aerodynamic advantage here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and on other super speedways, so we'll keep an eye on the Pontiacs throughout the afternoon. Right now we've got a Chevy leading, Ford's running 2nd and 3rd, and then Bobby Labonte's Pontiac in 4th.
And that's right, you have to set him up for a lap or so. Bobby Labonte was making a great charge and closed in on these guys. Now it looks like that Labonte is losing some ground with his first 3 cars.
Continues to run in the 4th position, however, as Gordon, Jarrett, and Martin have been running in this order for the last several laps. 24 have been completed here at the 6th annual Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 160 will make up the distance here this afternoon. We'll take a commercial break and be back with more live coverage. It's Gordon, Jarrett, Martin, Labonte, and Stewart. As you rejoin us here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we've had a shuffle up front. Dale Jarrett is now the leader of the Brickyard 400. Mark Martin has moved to 2nd, and Jeff Gordon all the way back to 3rd. And now Martin takes a shot at Jarrett and passes him in turn 4.
In that short chute, Mark Martin got down to the bottom of the racetrack, just drove by Dale Jarrett, now back in the lead. Evidently, these guys go a little bit too slow for Mark. Normally you would think he would sit back and just be patient until that first pit stop, but he thinks his car is faster, so catch me if you can.
But Jarrett did lead one lap, and so he did pick up the 5 bonus points. Now Jeff Gordon seems to be falling back in the clutches of Bobby Labonte. And Jerry Punch, he has an update on Bobby Labonte.
Actually, Bob, Jeff Gordon is the guy we want to comment on. After losing the lead, he has told crew chief Ray Evernham that his car has gotten very, very tight. If you hold the steering wheel at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, basically he's taking that 2 o'clock hand and bringing it all the way over to about 9 o'clock to keep the car to turn in the corner. Push means it won't turn at all, and it's gotten worse and worse. They will make an air pressure adjustment on their first pit stop around lap 40.
And so far, the sun is still out. There's supposed to be some clouds moving in here. Look at Jeff Gordon. Now, he doesn't like that Pontiac behind him, so he decides he'll move over, let Bobby Labonte go by, rather than have the car back there trying to make the car loose as well as pushing at the same time. That's the worst condition a race car driver can have, is a push and the back end one to come out at the same time.
So Gordon falls back into 4th position right now as Mark Martin has the lead. And this is the 3rd time that Mark Martin has led in a Brickyard 400. He led 1 lap last year and 19 in 1996. It's the 16th race that he has led in 1999.
So far, he is the only car to be lapped on the racetrack. The other cars made pit stops for the reason their laps down.
And we anticipate pit stops now by the front runners before too long. Rusty Wallace is making a pit stop as we see Jeff Gordon really struggling out there at the moment, Benny. He's going to really want to make some major changes during this pit stop.
Yes, he is, because he had run 165, 166 mile per hour for so long, and now he's down to 163. And here he comes down pit road, and he says, good gracious, not a minute too soon.
Jeff Gordon first among the top 5 to make a pit stop. Kenny Irwin is also coming down for a pit stop. Long way down pit road from the entrance up at the north end of the racetrack. He finally arrives at his pit box. Jeff Gordon. Sherry Punch.
Well, Jeff Gordon in the pits, guys, and they're going to make some significant adjustments. They're going to change 4 tires and take a rubber out of the left rear. As Benny Parsons said, the car has just gone completely away. Has gotten very, very tight. They're waiting on the left rear to get the rubber out and the tire off. Let's go up to Ray.
Kenny Irwin was just in the 28 car. They made a slight air pressure adjustment on the right front. The car was just a little bit loose. We expect a number 99 to come in just 1 lap. His car, unbelievably, is tight. So he's also going to make an air pressure adjustment, but that one will be on the right rear. And now Dale Jarrett comes down pit road.
Making his way down to his assigned pit area, and he hits the mark perfectly. Here's Bill Weber.
Dale Jarrett's team is going to take a roundabout out and put in sticker tires and make a slight air pressure adjustment. Remember, they ran out of fuel in this race a year ago? The fuel pressure light came on when Jarrett was already out of fuel. This year, that light comes on with 2 laps of fuel left. Tony Stewart also on pit road, along with Ricky Rudd and several others.
16.7 pit stop there for Dale Jarrett. A very good pit stop by that team. The Home Depot crew now looks like they're having a little bit of a problem on the left side of that car, but now down off the jacks, and Tony Stewart is back in the race. And here comes the leader, Mark Martin.
And Bob, they have told him to be very, very careful with the pit road speed. Watch the RPMs. Jimmy Finning shouting in the radio as Mark Martin will come down. Now watch the crew. They're going to put 1 round of fight in the car. The car a little bit loose. It will go around and what looks to be a routine pit stop. And a moment ago they were talking about putting a handle. There goes the handle to the right rear. 1 round of bite in, which will allow the back of the car to stick to the racetrack better. They have got to get this car full of fuel. They want to make this race on 3 scheduled stops. 2 more after this one.
17.1-second pit stop for Mark Martin. Bobby Labonte has his service completed, and he rolls back out onto the racetrack. They enter, of course, the racetrack on this acceleration lane and then rejoin the actual racetrack out of turn number 2.
And they must use this acceleration lane. They cannot drive back on the racetrack. They've got to wait until here as they come off turn 2 to go down the backstretch and blend in with traffic.
There's Kyle Petty.
And there's going to be your leader, Dale Jarrett.
When all the pit stops are completed, Jarrett is going to be shown as the leader once again. And we continue to see more cars making pit stops here on the 40th lap. The caution is out at the Brickyard 400 for the first time this afternoon. Chad Little has crashed over in turn number 2. And we have the end of the crash. There's the contact with the wall in turn number 2 on the driver's side.
Very hard contact. Another shot from our turn 2 camera. And when you see a spring rolling across the racetrack, you know that car hit awfully hard. Back up front with about a 0.2 of a second lead, or 2-3 car lengths. Dale Jarrett over Mark Martin. They are running about a 1.5 seconds ahead of the third place car of Bobby Labonte. So at the moment, a 2-car battle up front between Jarrett and Martin, as it has been most of the afternoon. The last time Mark got in this position, he pulled up right behind Dale Jarrett. He picked up what's called an arrow push. When you get behind another car and the air is not flowing across your car freely, you don't get enough downforce on the front of the car. As he came off turn 2 and turned the steering wheel, the car literally just pushed straight ahead, and he dropped back about 10 car lengths. And now he's finally going to try again on Dale Jarrett and see if he can get by.
He closes in. And passes going into the corner.
He started to dive in and follow Dale Jarrett back in the corner, but then he realized that Jarrett had backed off thinking the Mark was on the inside, and then Mark took advantage of it and dove it down in turn 1 and took that spot away.
Just a terrific battle up front. While that was going on, something else was going on between the 3 and the 12 car, Earnhardt and Jeremy Mayfield. Oh, some contact there at the end of the front stretch.
Wow.
That was going on back in the 12th and 13th positions.
I'll tell you one thing, that's not a good place to be making contact going down in 1 and 3 at 200 miles per hour.
So Mark Martin has gone back to the front of the Brickyard 400 field. As 63 laps have been completed, it's been a great battle up front. So far, Dale Jarrett has led the most laps here this afternoon, 25. Jeff Gordon has led 24. And Mark Martin has been out at the front of the field for 15 laps. Down to Bill Weber. We notice that Dale Jarrett has fallen back now to second position, Bill.
And a couple of factors for that, Bob. One, Jarrett has told his crew the car is just a little bit loose. And the other one is the fact that he was going to take it easy, but he has worked his way around Mark Martin. Apparently that car gets better the longer it's on the racetrack, because when he first went out after the earlier pit stops, he said the car was loose as well. It was loose a few laps ago. He has worked his way back around Mark. He is the race leader. And one thing to keep in mind, the next milestone for these race teams is lap 80. They want to try and get there on fuel. This team says they think they can.
Back under green. Bobby Labonte is second. Mark Martin third, Jeff Gordon fourth, and Tony Stewart runs fifth. And Jeff Burton are the top 10. There are a couple of lap cars between second and third. And now we'll see if Bobby Labonte can take the lead for the first time this afternoon. At the end of the backstretch, can't make the move. Sometimes there are head games that go on. We'll talk about that in a moment after we see if Labonte can get the lead here on the front stretch. A good run down to turn number 1, and Bobby Labonte becomes our 5th leader of the day.
Man, this interstate pattern spotting has been so strong. Won both races at Pocono, a racetrack very similar to this, Jerry.
Bobby Labonte made wholesale changes on that pit stop. The car was loose in and loose off, Benny, but it was tight in the middle of the corner. So they added bite for the loose problem. They raised the track bar for the tight problem. They also made air pressure adjustment. He said, it's all we can do. We've got to do something to try to win this thing. And obviously, what they did has worked.
Well, he missed that corner, did not get down to that white line. That's going to allow Jarrett to get alongside of him, I do believe. Yes, it did. Lost that lead.
Bobby Labonte had the lead for 1 lap, and it was the second time that he has led here at the Brickyard 400. He led 2 laps in 1995, but put Dale Jarrett back at the front of the field. Talking about head games, we heard that Evernham and the boys have been told that it may be raining at the Indianapolis airport. Our information is it's not raining at the Indianapolis airport. Sometimes they just do that to create trouble.
Well, they just tell the drivers, look, it's raining. This thing's only going to run about 30 more laps, so you got to run hard. Again, mind game, trying to get that driver pumped up to run a little bit harder than he is already.
On board with Jeff Burton, the 3rd place car, moving to the inside of Michael Waltrip. Michael 23rd, 1 lap down. The skies have brightened up here a bit in the last few minutes, so perhaps we're going to get through the next 20 laps without a rain shower. Let's hope so. Just 20 laps to go in the 6th annual Brickyard 400.
Well, we're okay. This thing is going to run the entire distance, the entire 160 laps. And Jeff Burton has called Mark Martin. Unbelievable how fast that 99 car is. As he comes down to the line, he's on. He's got a blown engine, and the caution flag is out. The line is out. The caution flag is out.
And the strategy is down the tubes now because everybody will be coming in for a fuel stop.
And Bob Jenkins, they began to jump up and down. You would have thought they won the race at Mark Martin's pit. They are celebrating this yellow flag. This could give them a chance to be able to pull out a win.
And those on the lead lap will make the left turn toward the pit area. Here comes Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, Jeff Gordon, and we expect about 21 cars on pit road here because that's how many are on the lead lap. Triple split. Jeff Burton on top.
He stops, right sides. Jack going on the car. Frankie Stoddard on that right front. Lugnut's already off, picks up the gun, ties him up. Both guys finished at the same time. Jack man around. Oh, what happened?
2 tires for Dale Jarrett.
And the 99 car left as well, but did they take some lug nuts off? I don't think the guys were expecting that. Here comes Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte back on the racetrack.
And guys, I think the lugs may be loose on the left front on the 99 car down here. And as Jeff Burton went out and the tire got loose, the 3 car of Dale Earnhardt made contact with it, and he will have damage to the left front of the race car.
You may be right, Ray. It looked like that Jeff Burton, when the right side went down, he saw the guys in front of him taking on 2 tires, and he decided he would lead. But I'm not sure that those guys knew about it.
Let's take a look at the end of Jeff's pit stop. Jeff Burton's.
There we see Frankie Stoddard. He's down. He's taking lug nuts off, and the car starts to leave. So, ooh, and he just barely misses the 28 car. There has to be some lug nuts off.
And here it is again. Now watch. Lug nuts are being loosened, but Burton pulls away.
So he will have to come back in and lose all that track position once again.
What about that strategy by Dale Jarrett? Just 2 tires.
I don't know. That's kind of iffy.
Quickly, Bill Weber, an update on Jarrett.
Gutsy call by Todd Parrott, and several reasons why they took just 2 right side tires. They have a very good car. They also went back to the notes from a year ago when they were faster taking just 2 tires. So now they feel confident in their car and their call. Plus, not a lot of laps left in this race.
Back to green.
Green flag. 14 laps to go after they cross the line.
running third now with Martin and Jeff Burton fourth and fifth. Dale Earnhardt is sixth, and Gordon. Terry Labonte up in the top 10 for the first time today. Tony Stewart is ninth, and Ricky Rudd is also in the top 10. And the first three cars begin to separate themselves a little bit. Bobby Labonte looking right, looking left, trying to find a way around. Dale Jarrett for the lead. Behind him, a massive shuffle for position.
Warren Burton is going by Labonte for second spot. Warren Burton must have just taken fuel only on this stuff. He's out there with the same tires. That's how only way I can figure he got all that track position.
And look at them fan out 4 and 5 wide down the straightaway. That's Jimmy Spencer to the right of your screen, almost to the pit wall. On board with Jeff Gordon, and now he's in a battle with Tony Stewart for 7th position. Stewart's got him.
Stewart used the pick of Jeffrey Bodine, the power team car on the inside. He got Jeff Gordon behind him and took the spot away. That was 7th position. Oh, Jeff Gordon decided to go down about the same time as Spencer decided to let him go by. I'm sorry, it's Tony Stewart that decided to block that move of Jeff Gordon.
A battle between two Indiana boys who cut their teeth on the dirt tracks and the short ovals in the sprints and midgets in the central Indiana area. On board with Jeff Gordon. Up ahead is Tony Stewart. "12 laps to go in the Brickyard 400. Gordon will look inside of Stewart, coming off the corner through the short chute. And Jeff Gordon retakes 7th position.
He got close enough to Tony Stewart to get him loose, and he had to go up the racetrack to catch it back in. When he did, Jeff Gordon goes by.
Up front, it is still Dale Jarrett. He has about a half-second lead on Warren Burton, now running second. Bobby Labonte back to third. Jarrett, the two-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion, who of course is the father of Ned Jarrett, is watching every move of his son as he comes off the 4th corner, about to complete lap 158. There is Ned helping spot for Dale. He's up on top of the roof. 2 more laps to go for Dale Jarrett. 5 miles.
That big sigh from Ned. I don't know if I can make it 2 more laps.
Totally dominating performance this afternoon by Dale Jarrett. There's the interval between first and second. It's more than 3 seconds, and Jeff Gordon has moved to third, passing Mark Martin. Jeff Burton was able to get around Ward, but now Ward has retaken that spot from Jeff, so a good battle back there amongst the Burton brothers. There's Ward and Jeff. And the white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go in the Brickyard 400. Dale Jarrett, the leader, by 3.3 seconds over Bobby Labonte.
And Gordon, Mark Martin trying to figure out who's going to finish in 3rd position. Looks like it's going to be Jeff Gordon. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett goes by turn 2 sweeps to the applause of those folks.
And he has only about a half a lap to go, and he will record his 2nd Brickyard 400 victory. Jarrett into turn number 3 for the final time. The crowd there standing and waving through the short chute at the north end of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A very popular driver takes the Ford through corner number 4. He comes onto the main straightaway. And Dale Jarrett wins the Brickyard 400 for the 2nd time. He wins in 1996 and again here in 1999. Ned Jarrett, his father, helped him through the races today. And Jarrett records his 22nd career victory and his 4th in 1999. The Brickyard 400 is his.